Agents Across the Miles with Linda Baker and Marie Borders.
All
Hi, I'm
right.
Linda Baker with Milestone Realty in San Jose, California.
And I'm Marie Borders, and I'm with Marin's Finest, and I am in Marin County, which is the gateway to wine country.
Tell me, Marie, who is moving to the North Bay, to Marin and the surrounding areas?
You know, it's always been that folks are moving from San Francisco. There's been quite an exodus from San Francisco proper to our direction. It usually happens, the millennials who are, or, maybe one up, they're ready to start families. They don't want to deal with the city. They want better schools. So it's folks probably in the 36 to 45 range, right
Okay.
in there. And also there are, we're getting some transplants because of weather, retirees who want to be close to their children who are moving up this way and
Interesting.
grandchildren. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, people, you think about San Jose and Silicon Valley, we are still seeing people moving to this area for tech. I'm working with clients right now who just moved here for tech jobs. So
Yes, there are some big employers here, but the advent of work from home has really enabled people really or work from anywhere. This is a good option.
yeah, exactly. Well, so if those people ready to start a family and retirees are moving to Marin, who's leaving?
You know, there are families and also retirees that are leaving for job transfers.
Okay.
One's heading to Southern California. Lots of folks are heading to Idaho and Texas for job transfers. Also, retirees are leaving as well. And so, they're warmer climes, or they want to be again where
Close to
their
family.
children and grands are. This multi-generational thing is really a thing.
Over the last year, we've had a real shortage of listings in nationwide. And, in our area, a lot of my listings were either because somebody's inherited a house because mom or dad have passed away, or they are people who are the boomers who are like, okay, I can sell my house for a good amount of money and then choose to move to a different climate, to a less expensive area,
Yeah.
move close to family, move with my family. Yeah, so very similar reasons. What features are people looking for in a house? What's your kind of your typical house up there?
Well, the fact of the matter is we've really got a vintage type, craftsman style homes. It can
What does
be
vintage era mean to you?
probably at least 100 years old.
Ooh, okay.
Then mid-century, there's a fair amount of Eichlers, in the area. There's and folks are desirous of Eichlers or they hate them. You've got Eichlers down there too.
100%.
Right.
Yes, they love
And
it's a love-hate relationship.
it is that, but that indoor outdoor thing is really critical. Folks want to be able to be, the folks that I've been working with, they want to be on a cul-de-sac. They want to be kind of on the cusp of hiking trails, and you may or may not know this, but Marin County is the birthplace of mountain biking, and so it's a huge thing here. People.
Well, you know that Santa Clara County is the home to specialized bikes.
Yes, and we have Mike's bikes in our area. So we've got Mount Tamalpais, and so folks love to be close to Mount Tam. At the Smart Train now, we've got regional buses, and we have the ferries. We have 3 ferries you can grab from Marin and head to the city.
Area, you've got different things that people are looking for. They're either looking for ease to be able to get to work. And depending on where their company is located, they might look on the west side of the valley versus the east side of the valley. This is really very, very widely depending on what neighborhood they're looking at. It really starts with the price, and then here's what's available with this price point. So the common desire for a house around here is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath kind of rancher. And that's the majority of what we see here. And then we have those really fun neighborhoods like Willow Glen or Rose Garden, where, they're older 100-year-old homes. They've got character, they've got charm. I know South Bay, and I know that our median price in the last year has ranged between $1,700,000 to $1,800,000. What's the median price look like up in Marin?
Median in the past 6 months, as we're pretty fluid, I could probably go 3 months even, but it's about $1,465,000.
So it's a little bit less than ours.
We have a couple of see, here's the thing. The population of Marin County is about 265,000.
That's it?
That's it. And the whole county is the land is about 17% developed. So we have tons of open space and land.
One of the things that I enjoy about Silicon Valley is how much open space we have, because we are a valley. So we are surrounded by mountains. And so we've got lots of hiking and biking trails, we've got lots of roadways. I said we were the home of Specialized Bikes. Well, Bikes started here in Campbell. So it's always been very sports oriented, and just really enjoying our wonderful climate that we have here and being in the outdoors.
That's what people are really interested in, who move here. They may have a desire. They want to maybe be closer to the water. There are lots of properties that are contiguous to water or walkable to water. Maybe they want to be contiguous to open space or green space. It depends. And the commute, you can be anywhere from, Sausalito and Mill Valley to Novato in the north.
So San Jose was the original breadbasket for the Presidios in Monterey and San Francisco. So our San Jose city seal is actually has a swath of wheat on it. So that's how we started. And so we really have a Mediterranean climate. Our average rainfall is probably about 14 inches a year, on average, God willing, at this point in time. Our seasons, our summers are nice for the most part, hot, really super hot days. I mean, we never really needed air conditioning until maybe the past few years.
Obviously, a little bit north, we do have what's considered a Mediterranean climate as well, but we have Carl the Fog. So
Carl the Fog.
Yeah, they named him. He's pretty incredible. He's basically natural air conditioning. Really lends itself to some beautiful Pinots, and also just an opportunity to cool off at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So obviously closer to the gate, there's going to be more fog and not as much constant sunshine, but there are areas that are, to the east that have, some nice, good sun. And sometimes folks aren't as concerned about that. They want to live in the woods or right by the water. So
yeah, well, and it's nice because our valley is so physically large, because we basically in the north, we have Palo Alto and Stanford, and then we go down to Gilroy, the Garlic Festival. So it is amazing how much we have in land diversity. We've got mushrooms and garlic down south, and all kinds of fruit trees, and it's like our lifestyles in our relative areas are really pretty similar. I think we're probably a bit more urban than you guys are, because we have more businesses here, more housing. San Jose, I say the South Bay population is probably over 2 million. San Jose alone is about 1 million.
Yeah. And so the thing is that Marin County, previous to maybe 30 years ago, had been a bedroom community to San Francisco. And now it's a bedroom community also to places east like Pleasanton. There's industry obviously really north of us. So we're really kind of a good medium between, being minutes from San Francisco and, probably about, half an hour to the wine country, half an hour, 45 minutes. And if you work in the wine industry.
It's funny to think that you and I are both in the Bay Area, but there's no way I'm selling up in Marin, and God knows San Francisco, because I know nothing about those markets.
Yeah.
It's all those subtleties are so important to realize.
Yeah. It's wonderful to have these connections like we have.
So how is your market? So are you seeing, is it a strong seller's market up here like we have down here? Are you still seeing multiple offers?
Well, I can report just it's really brisk. There, I'm a part of several networks of more producing agents, and they're saying multiple offers are back. And to wit, yesterday I was speaking to a colleague, and she said that she got on a place that's really has a lot of, let's say, some warts and band-aids on it.
Deferred maintenance?
Yeah, maybe that. And they got I mean, really, they said it really smells because we're by a duck processing. It's like, oh, okay. So but they received 6 offers on that place. And then she also told me that she got 19 offers on another property that was a little bit more conventional. So it's definitely still the needle is buried in a seller's market.
I had a buyer a few months ago say, yeah, I'm waiting for the market to bottom out. And I go,
right,
you're about a year late, honey.
More than a year.
We had a bit of a low market, I would say, in fall of 22. That's when we kind of like bottomed out after the interest rates had gone up. You could definitely see buyers had pulled back at that point in time. And
oh, sure they did. I don't think
it was like this long.
Yeah. Well, there were still cash buyers because that's who I was working with. And it's.
Well, and that's your sign right there. If the cash buyers are willing to go all in, then it's
a good sign.
It's still a very good sign. The cost of living in both of our respective areas, I am imagining, is pretty much very similar, because your climate is mild, my climate is mild, taxes are the same. Is there anything that really you think, like, how your gas prices up there?
I think I just filled up Saturday, and for just regular unleaded, it was with a discount, the place that I go to, $4.17.
Okay, that's about what I'm paying down here. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so it's about
I think your gas is always better priced than ours, just in my experience.
I think it has to do with your geography. So tell me, what's your favorite thing about living in Marin County?
Well, I was born in Marin County, and I was raised here. So, what I miss when I'm not here is the mountains and the oftentimes a view of the bay from almost anywhere that I'm hanging out. So just it's really the outdoor. We have Samuel P. Taylor Park. We've got Mount Tamalpais. Those are my favorite things. Muir Woods. They're all places that people know about. Stinson Beach. Obviously, the wines are fantastic. There's just being in such good proximity to everything.
Yeah, I mean, we live in God's country. Those are all the same similar things that I like about where we live. I do really enjoy our climate. It's 60 degrees outside, and I'm in a sweater because I'm Californian, so I'm thin skinned. But I love to be able to go to hikes. We live in an area called Almaden, and so we've got great parks nearby. I mean, I've got a park that's literally a stone throw away, and it's got hundreds of acres of hiking. We've got horseback riding, we've got bicycling, we've got wineries. We've got some world-class wineries here as well. Plus just the diversity, the food, and we've got so much going on. I really feel blessed that we have so much. We do get the Broadway shows, and we do have lots of, local bands. What is your least favorite thing about living there?
Sometimes there's some traffic that can't be avoided. That's the challenge, I think.
Yeah, we have traffic issues too. I mean, it definitely got better with COVID. Fewer people commuting. Now you're seeing more people having to go back to the office.
Yeah.
So it is true, but it's nice because it's not most people are going back to the office maybe 3 days a week as opposed to 5 days a week. So you're seeing a break in the flow of traffic. So that's been a real plus. But, you know, and it's, to me, it's between the traffic and it's the threat of earthquakes. You know, it's most people get freaked out by earthquakes. And I think for us Californians, it's like, oh,
Been through so
an
many.
earthquake? I didn't feel anything. Did you feel it? There's 6. It's like no big deal.
We've been through some big ones though.
Yes, we have. Well, we have. But, you know, at the end of the day, real estate here in the Bay Area has been solid, and I think we're blessed to live here.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to say the other minus is that it's expensive to live here.
Yeah.
And I'd love to help everybody who wants to come live here.
Yeah.
And
I know it is.
let's give it a shot, you know, we'll do what we can.
I worked with somebody years ago back in the 90s, and he said he had moved here from Louisville, Kentucky. And his joke was that he got half the house for 3 times the price. And that was 25, pushing 30 years ago. So
you're saying prices are going down. Is that what you're saying?
We only wish, but in the meantime, the good news is that we've built great assets for our clients, and provided them with great homes to live in for their lives. So that's a big deal.
Yeah, once they get in, we don't want them to leave.
They don't. They don't. So, but thank you, Marie, for talking about Marin. I really do appreciate it. And we have all of your contact information on the video. So if you're looking at buying or selling in Marin or any place else in the nation, both Marie and I have great resources to amazing people all around the country. So thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me. My pleasure.
Awesome.